Welcome to part 2 of a two-part series entitled Saint Bernadette Soubirous, the Humble Shepherdess of Lourdes. Lourdes is a little town on the Gave de Pau River at the foot of the Pyrenees Mountains, which borders southern France and northern Spain. Its beautiful valleys are as rich in history as they are in nature. Today, the fame of Lourdes and its surroundings are related to one pure-hearted shepherdess, Saint Bernadette Soubirous. Marie Bernadette Soubirous, a humble peasant girl, was known to all as Bernadette. Her life story has transformed Lourdes from a small market town in the Hautes-Pyrenees department into one of the most important sites of pilgrimage in the world. On February 11, 1858, 14 years old Saint Bernadette saw her first vision of a lady resembling the Blessed Virgin Mary at a grotto. During a lecture in 1988, Supreme Master Ching Hai recounted the story of Saint Bernadette.
那个小的弟弟呀，专门偷他的那个面包吃，就问他：“你刚刚看到什么？”伯纳尔本来不想讲，结果被他的弟弟一直逼他。他说：“好，我讲给你听，不过不能讲给别人听，讲给他们两个听。说刚刚我看到一个很漂亮的。”那个女的样子很漂亮，很漂亮，好光好亮。那两个也不相信他，回去又告诉他的妈妈麻烦是在这里，不相信没有关系，又去找别人讲话乱七八糟，所以也麻烦。妈妈要打那个伯纳尔，说你幻想等等，你着魔等等，以后你不能再来那边。
3 days later, Saint Bernadette felt an inner force drawing her to the grotto, despite her parents' command. At her insistence, her mother allowed her to go. After reciting the first decade of the Rosary, once again she saw the lady appearing. Bernadette started to throw holy water in the lady's direction, stating that if she came from God, she was to stay, but if not, she must go. The lady started to smile and bowed. The more Bernadette sprinkled her with holy water, the more the lady smiled and bowed her head, and the more Bernadette saw her make signs. When the rosary ended, the lady disappeared. On February 18th, for the first time, the lady spoke. Saint Bernadette held out a pen and paper, asking her to write her name. The lady replied, "It is not necessary." This being the third appearance, the lady told Bernadette to return every day for the next 15 days, and she added,
Je ne vous promets pas de vous rendre heureuse en ce monde, mais en l'autre.
As the stories of Saint Bernadette's vision spread, large crowds began to come to the grotto. Some were completely convinced of the prodigy, others didn't believe, but all reported that Bernadette looked different during the visions. On February 20th, the fifth appearance, 30 people were present. Bernadette reported later that the lady had taught her a personal prayer, which she never wrote down or repeated to anyone. By this time, the news was spreading to other towns, and many people assumed that the lady was the Virgin Mary.
不过这个小家庭知道没问题的，等一下小孩嘛又出去乱跑，这把整个村庄都吵起来，要告诉外面的人。等一下好多人都诽谤他那个伯纳尔，说他是那种很什么。讲什么很肮脏的那个话，有人也会打他，在路上叫他来打他在面前这样子，所以你们可见修行以前 不那么容易。没有一个人相信她那么穷的一个女孩，又没有水问，怎么会看到圣灵呢？那个圣女那个出现，懂不懂是不是啊？假如说你们普通的人很穷啊，没有水问啊，也没有背起来那个大悲咒，背也背不起来。假如说这样子又说我看到观世音菩萨来跟我怎么讲话，哎呀，有可能人不相信哦。今天也如是哦。所以师父告诉你们呢，修观音法门的体验不能告诉别人，也是为了这个缘故。
We'll continue the blessed story of Saint Bernadette after a brief message, here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Saint Bernadette Soubirous, the Humble Shepherdess of Lourdes, Part 2 of 2. On February 25, 1858, the 9th appearance, 300 people were present. The lady told Bernadette, "Go drink at the fountain and wash yourself there, and eat the grass which is there." Bernadette obeyed and dug in the ground until water started to flow out. The water was dirty, but as soon as she drank it, it became clear and flowed towards the crowd. It is now known as the miraculous water from Lourdes. On March 2nd, Bernadette told the priest that the lady wanted a chapel to be built on the grotto. The priest asked for her name. They wanted to know who she was. On March 25th, the feast of the Annunciation of the Virgin Mary, the lady said to Bernadette, "I am the Immaculate Conception." The priests were petrified. There was Bernadette, the least capable of the students, a most simple little girl, talking about a doctrine that the Catholic Church had proclaimed in 1854, a dogma that proclaims that the Mother of Jesus Christ had been free of original sin since her conception. During that time, not only did the police rigorously interrogate Bernadette, but the Church named a commission that cross-examined the girl. It was all in vain. Bernadette stuck to her story. Her calm and confident answers were completely unexpected and always straight. After a thorough inquiry, the local bishop decided that the visions were genuine and approved the worship of Our Lady of Lourdes. A church was started that same year. Bernadette never sought publicity, name, or fame, and she became increasingly attracted towards living a religious life. She wanted to go to a Carmel convent, but the demanding routines of the Carmelites were not suitable for her health. She entered the convent of Nevers, where she regained the name of Marie Bernard. As told by the lady, Sister Marie Bernadette did not find happiness in this world. She continued to be humble, obedient, and kind, but suffered from her fragile health. She referred to herself as the stupid one and felt unworthy of the marvelous graces she had received. For 13 years, she suffered without complaint, offering her prayers for the conversion of the world, as she was instructed by the lady. Bernadette described Our Lady as being young and beautiful, so lovely that when you have seen her once, you will willingly die to see her again.
那个路德的地方以后变成很出名，其实那个皇帝的儿子也在那里喝水，喝水完了病就好，所以才变成很出名。然后那个伯纳尔愿望才解释的。不过造成很多困难呐，对他的个人呐和他的家庭啊是很大的那个风波。他们很累，一天到晚被人干扰，有人来怀疑问，有人来找麻烦，有人来找加实力。最后呢，那东西已经明白了，大家都承认了， 连那个法王啊承认啊，什么牧师啊、修女，通通都承认了。这好多人跑来跟他求恩惠了啊，求他加持了，包括牧师、修女等等，这高等的那些天主教的修行的人。
At the end of her life, Saint Bernadette was constantly in pain. When the sisters asked her why she didn't go to Lourdes for a cure, she replied, "It is not for me." On her final day on earth, she asked those nearby to pray for her soul. Sister Natalie Portet, who was by her side, recalled, "At the words of the angelic salutation, 'Holy Mary, Mother of God,' the dying woman revived, and, in a voice full of conviction, she twice repeated, 'Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for me, a poor sinner.'" The humble Saint Bernadette then made a large sign of the cross and left her mortal body. She was 35 years old. As is the way of the Catholic Church, a papal investigation started. She received beatification in 1925 and canonization in 1933. 30 years after her death, Bernadette's body was exhumed and found to be intact. Since 1925, the body has been guarded in the chapel shrine at the convent of Saint Gildard of Nevers. Today, Lourdes is well known around the world, and Saint Bernadette continues to be admired and respected as a loving saint. And so concludes the story of the little shepherdess of Lourdes, a simple and sincere soul that one day heard the sound and saw the light of God. Cherished viewers, it's been a pleasure to have your gracious company today.